Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're in the garden and we are going to dig up bulbs, corms, and rhizomes. So we have all of the above in the garden. We are going to completely change how the front yard garden beds look, the very front beds, and I'm so excited, but that means digging up everything that's in the garden. Moving them or storing them until next spring when we can replant them. So we're gonna replant our lilies because we can plant lilies in the fall. So I'm just gonna dig them out where they are now and put them where I want them next year. And then we're going to dig out all of our iris rhizomes, clean them up and store them, and we will plant them next spring. We could technically plant them in the fall, but we need to put in some structure first before we put in where the irises are gonna go. And then we have gladiolas that get planted in the spring. They're gonna get planted somewhere else, so we're gonna find them all over the garden, dig them up, and store them. And then we have crocosmia. We have 3 different varieties of crocosmia on the property. Today we are just going to cut down and dig out our Lucifer crocosmia. We've cut down a couple in the backyard that they're going to stay where they belong. But we have 2 in the front yard that we're going to remove today. And we don't have a plan on where they're going to go, so we're just going to store those corms. And don't worry, I'll show you the difference between bulbs, rhizomes, and corms as we go along today. We built this cute little fence. Spencer built this cute little fence to help prop up this crocosmia because it's on a hill and gravity pulls it. Well, oh, it's tied. And but it's gotten too big for this space, and we planted this hibiscus here that will get quite large eventually and kind of take over this space. And this was laying over it most of the season, and it's just been kind of a hassle. The fronds fall into the walkway, so it's always like tied up, and it doesn't, it's not beautiful. So not when we do that. It is a beautiful plant, it's just in the wrong location. So Spencer's gonna cut the base with hedge trimmers. We've found that's pretty easy to do. Just haul off. We leave it in the bungee cord so it's easy to grab and haul off, and then he's gonna dig out the corms. Just gonna leave my... First thing I'm gonna do over here is dig up all these small lilies. We have a bunch of short growing lilies that are kind of dotted throughout this garden bed. I'm gonna dig them up and move them to a different location. My lily bulbs are out of the ground. I wanted to show you a couple of different things. So this is an iris rhizome. You see how it has like this bulb looking structure, and then the roots are coming down, and then the plant comes out one side. This has been broken, so there would be more, and it would maybe come up here. This is what a clean rhizome looks like. And because there was blue star creeper and native strawberry, I am gonna clean all of my rhizomes, so all I see are these healthy iris roots, and I don't see any other kinds of roots, just to make sure that I don't carry over weeds. The other thing that happens is, this is what the surface of it looked like. So you could see the iris rhizomes here. Of course, there's blue star and grass growing over it, okay? But you see this lily coming up. It's underneath this rhizome, and her bulb is right here. So if I were to just pull this, the bulb would break off and I wouldn't know where they are. So like this one happened. So the plant comes right off the bulb. The bulb is tucked up underneath there. So this is a lily bulb. We do the same kind of thing, just comb her out, make sure that it's only lily there. She's got kind of curly roots, and she gets planted just like this. The roots point it down, and soil on top of the root. Bulb, rhizome. All right, this is the area that I want to plant those lilies in. We have really tall lilies in the back already, so I'm going to plant them towards the front of the bed. All right, while I am continuing to dig lily bulbs and daylilies, Spencer's going to get started on this iris bed. How long do you think this bed is? Like 12 foot?
Yeah.
So lots of irises. We planted them when we first moved in here. We thinned them out once, and when we thinned them out, they bloomed really good that following year. They haven't bloomed very good for the last 2 years. So it's time to divide them anyways. And there's such a huge swath that they just look like a disastrous mess by this time of year. And at this point, so much grass and strawberry has creeped in over the rhizomes. It's nearly impossible to weed out. So we're just going to get rid of the entire bed and save the healthy rhizomes and do something else with them. So I think the first thing Spencer's going to do is just get rid of all the dead debris material so that we could clearly see where the rhizomes are to dig out. So we ended up with 15 or 16 of the small bulbs, and a couple of different things to notice is we've got these white ones and more yellow looking ones. And actually the white bulbs are yellow. These are yellow flowers, and the yellow ones are white flowers. So interesting. We will not plant them with the plant intact. I was just showing you what it looks like. They just pop off just like that. And then they plant in with the pointy side up, 6 inches under the ground. We also had these really large ones. We have a couple of large ones in here already. So we're just gonna incorporate them. I had originally thought that I would get them all throughout here, but I have a different idea that I want to do in that corner, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But for now, we've got these two giant whites. These guys get like 6-7 feet tall. They smell amazing. They are a white lily. So those are going to go in the back, and then we're going to create like a little border of the short ones. Right here we have some medium-sized black ones right here. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to use this 36-inch by 3-inch Laura's Edition Power Planter auger on our drill. This is just a 20-volt drill. It'll handle this small auger. The difference between this auger and other ones is there's far less tines. I'll get it out of here. So you can see there's just 2 turns rather than halfway up, which makes it way less heavy, and it stands at my waist so I don't have to bend over to aug the holes. And we have sandy soil, so it's super easy to dig, but it's just like super fast using a tool. All right, now I have a couple of daylilies to dig up and a rose campion. Great job, babe. You're getting far. I think while you finish that up, I'm going to go ahead and dig up these gladiolas. And then we can call it quits for a while. that work? This bed is all replanted. We've got short lily bulbs all in the front here, tall lily bulbs in the back, a couple of short ones so it kind of brings the bed around. We have this bridal wreath that's rooted in right here. It was in a pot and it seated itself right here. There's a little tiny one back there that I might transplant somewhere. So I took the pot and I moved it here and put it in the ground so that we kind of have end caps for this lily bed. We have two different kinds of day lilies right here, a group of iris, and then I just planted this day lily and that day lily in this bed, and then that gives us room right there to plant a bunch of daffodils. Spencer really loves to see daffodils in this bed in the springtime, and so do I. They're bright and cherry and super fun, so I like to leave little spots for those, even if we have to put a pot there for daffodils since they don't really love living in our garden. Anyway, so I really love how this bed has buttoned up and looks really beautiful. We stole the lilies from this corner and the day lilies from this corner. We're going to remove everything in this corner and do something completely different. So it looks a little trashed right now, but we'll fix it. So that's what the bed looks like before our break. We have this bed to do next. More gladiolas, that's the green foliage coming out of there. You can see the very last remnant of the last glad that opened. And then all the irises that need to come out of there. Well, what a day. We got a lot accomplished. I didn't get all the way done. I still have like 4 feet of irises to dig out over on the other side, but I'm done. I'm probably a filthy mess. I can feel like dirt, grit all over my face. Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and show you everything that we did get done today. Okay, there we are. It's all clean, iris free for the most part. In a couple of areas I had irises on the surface and then I had a whole nother layer underneath. So, you know, there might still be some old irises deep in the soil, but irises need to be surface sown, or not sown, but their rhizomes need to be almost visible on the surface. I left a clump right here and a clump right here because of the sunflowers. I don't want to disturb their roots. They are annuals. They will only be up for as long as they're going strong, and then we'll take them out and we'll dig up these clumps. And there is a gladiola tucked under there too, but I'm just gonna leave it alone. This is what the other bed, let's go around this way, looks like, and that's what that bed looked like this morning. So just having it clean is a huge difference. I did get the gladiolas pulled out of here, and obviously all but one gladiola got pulled out of this bed. And And all the lilies got moved, which I already shared with you. This is our debris that we ended up with. Mostly it's grass and strawberry, native strawberry. There are a couple of iris rhizomes in here. A couple of reasons they might have ended up in this pile. They may be too dried out to be viable. They may be too entangled with weeds to guarantee a clean, be able to plant them and not have grass and strawberry everywhere again. Or they may have been damaged so badly that there's no eyes left. So also worthless at that point. Got all this cleaned up, replanted, watered in. And then we ended up with 2 containers overflowing with iris rhizomes. So I know we mentioned this before, but this is a rhizome, okay? And then we have a lot of gladiola corms. This is a corm. It's different than a bulb. I don't know if this one, I guess this would have been a good example. It rotted off. What happens is they start creating bulblets down below, and then often just rot. That's rotten. The other thing you could tell bulb from a corum is they have a pretty significant like casing, I guess. This one came off, so they don't normally look like this all clean. They usually have like this skin, fibrous type skin on it. Corms of Crocosmia. Spencer got 3 buckets full. We haven't cleaned these up. We didn't clean up the irises all the way either. They're just gonna dry and then we can shake them off a little better. Same with this. This is a classic corum. Oops. And they're a little bit better at doing their corum things. So you could see it's like bulb, 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 bulb. And then this is where the growth was. And so it's like this was the original bulb, or probably came off another one, but that's the original bulb, and then it grows another one and another one and another one and another one, and then every year it grows. So like this would have been a growth point, and then this grew around it, and then this would have been a growth point, and then that grew around it, and then it sprouted, and then this bulb grew around the sprout. And technically you could break them apart. If I could do this with one hand, probably not. Break them apart. And then you have one bulb, and you can plant this and it will resprout. So, well, we have millions. We don't need millions. But we will clean them up and we'll store them, and I don't know where these are going to go. The iris, let me talk about why we're doing this. Other than the fact that they're really hard to clean out after a couple of years with all the weeds. The iris are going to go, I'm going to have 3 clumps of iris in here with pockets available for salvia to be placed in between, or sunflowers, depending on the year. We are going to have raised beds, or just one really long raised bed, like an 8-foot bed right here. 8 by 4, I think they are. And then we are going to plant those with dahlias and gladiolas. And I think I'll have a better show. And I'm ready for something cleaner and more structured. Things are just kind of getting a little out of control out here, and while I do love the cottage garden look, it's really actually quite hard to maintain. When you just want a whole bunch of flowers and you don't want weeds. So I'm just ready for something that looks a little cleaner and is a lot easier to maintain. And that's easy to change out when I need to, because dahlias are hit and miss whether or not they're gonna come back every year, especially if you just leave them in the ground. So, and I like to change things up. I like different color palettes and different textures, and when they're in the ground, they're so hard to get out and figure, like, so much easier in a raised bed where you just like dig them out like potatoes, give them away, and plant something fun the next year. Something else fun, I guess. So that is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're celebrating your life, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.